and over about a year and a half period. Unfortunately, right before my commercial check ride, my father also passed away. Can you imagine?
Dude.
So that didn't help. And actually, the commercial check ride was a commercial multi check ride, and was probably the best check ride I'd ever taken up to that point with a guy I trusted as a DE, but I made a fantastic, spectacular mistake, and I failed the ride because of it.
You're called multi?
Commercial multi check ride, and what are you gonna do? You turn off the good engine when the other one's off, and then you fail. It's pretty common.
You didn't verify it properly?
No, I most certainly did. I went through everything perfectly and still managed to screw it up.
You know what though? I was talking about and I want to talk to you about this as far as an airline perspective.
Sure.
But talking about engines out, I was talking with one of my good friends at Alaska Airlines, captain at Alaska, been flying for years. And we were talking one day about engines out or emergencies, things like that. And he said, and I'll never forget this. He said, you know what, Yoel? You know what my first item on an engine out checklist is? Like my personal one, not on the actual sheet. I said, no, what is it? And he goes, my first item when I lose an engine is take a sip of your coffee.
Is to stop.
Stop,
right? Mm-hmm.
Zoom out. And that speaks to what you've experienced, because people out there generally say you lost an engine on an airplane. It's like, how do you not know which one it is? But the adrenaline.
It's
the
easy.
Adrenaline.
But that's in fact, not the mistake I made. That first step is the correct step. And it also needs to be the second to last thing. You also need to zoom back out. And I didn't. I did not zoom back out, have a look, and know that I'd finished.
Right.
Instead, I was way too tight and thought, I remember I didn't do something, which I made up completely. I just didn't remember having done it because I was so tightly wound that I was basically going in circles at that point. I mean, I had done everything perfectly and then forgotten I'd done it, hence the checklist, right? And then I'd gone to this checklist in a way that I was distracted, and I thought, oh, no, I need to do this thing. And then I flipped the magneto switches, which is basically a power to the spark plugs, and then the lights go out in that engine.
Right.
Fire out. Oh, dear. Got very quiet. And the examiner looked at me like, huh? And I looked at him like, did you do that? And that's when I failed the check ride.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, because he just, very quickly undid what I did.
Right.
Which is what I should have done. Because in aviation, a very good lesson about aviation and life is if everything was going good and then you just did something and now it's not going good, undo the thing you just did and see if it gets better, right? And that is exactly what he did, and then the check ride was unfortunately over.
Yeah.
But, a lot of lessons learned on that one. So anyway, that was the end. I made up that check ride about a week later, got the necessary retraining, as it were, and, shut it down properly next time.
You just did the retake on that.
Yeah,
one
exactly.
Specific thing.
And because we had run out of time after that, I also did like a non-precision approach or something to tie it up, but it was otherwise ready to rock. I got my commercial multi, and I remember the fellow telling me, you know what, you are a professional pilot. And I was really, pleased with that, obviously, but I was also kind of taken aback because I just failed my commercial check ride with the guy.
Right.
But he said, no, you failed the check ride, but that didn't stop you. You didn't stop flying the plane. You knew there was a job to be done, and you kept going.